What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, the crypto universe. Today's Thursday, December 11th. In today's video, I want to talk about a dog supercycle happening in 2026. Now, there has been a lot of data released over the weekend from analysts such as Tom Lee and also Raoul Pal that end up talking about how Bitcoin is following the ISM or PMI business cycle. And in 2026, it's not just bullish for dog, but bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for altcoin season. So this is all lining up for dog to have its first super cycle that we've never seen before in Bitcoin meme coins. But also I want to share with you, over the past 10 days, ever since December 1st, the dog has the most likes, mentions, reposts, and comments than any other meme community on X. And obviously we want to share some other news that's going to come very soon, which is dog, the Solana wrap version of dog, is going to be available on the Coinbase app pretty soon. And what does that actually mean for dog Bitcoin? Well, I want to share all this with you in the charting analysis at the very end of the video. So let's go ahead and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So you may have noticed that dog is down 5.54%. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, there are three different scenarios that was going to happen after the Fed was announcing the 25 basis point rate cut. The first one, which is what actually happened, is that you saw manipulation within the market because you thought that maybe long leverage traders were going to place their long positions, that Bitcoin was going to go up. And when in fact the market makers liquidated those long positions, and this is what we're seeing over long liquidations in the past 24 hours. Because if you look on the right hand side, as we kind of predicted, 400 million long positions have been liquidated compared to the shorts, which was only 126 million. So that was absolutely a buy the rumor, sell the news event. And we just kind of predicted that was going to happen. And so look at Bitcoin's price. It went from roughly around 94,000 as of yesterday and dropped as low as around 89,000. That's the liquidation event. That's what I wanted to point out to everybody. And since you subscribe and watch our channel, you stay up to date and you are well prepared mentally and emotionally for this type of roller coaster. Now let's talk about the Fed FOMC meeting yesterday, because Jerome Powell did just pretty much confirm that there's no longer going to be a rate hike because rate hikes were never part of the conversation, when in fact the base case was either to hold their position, meaning not do rate cuts, or maybe cut a little or cut a lot. And this is actually going to bleed into 2026. Now, Jerome Powell did say that most likely they'll cut only one rate cut next year, but remember, he's being replaced on May 2026 with a different Fed chair chosen by Donald Trump. Now, what he also mentioned there is that they're going to buy $40 billion worth of treasury bills in the next 30 days. And now this is going to start tomorrow, December 12th. Now, why is this important? It's because they actually just said that they're going to start quantitative easing. Now, this is a fancy word of saying that they're going to be purchasing US Treasury bills, but really that's quantitative easing. So people thought that this wasn't going to be announced until 2026. So this was actually surprising for everybody for Jerome Powell to say all of a sudden they're going to do quantitative easing starting tomorrow. So maybe this is why you're starting to see a lot of liquidations, but also you're not seeing a huge liquidation because we only went from 94,000 to 89,000 in Bitcoin's price when it should have been a lot bigger, but it didn't. So we didn't really pump and we didn't really dump. So that's just what we're seeing right now. But let's talk about why 2026 is going to be the beginning of altcoin season for Ethereum, altcoins, and dog. Tom Lee, an analyst who's been buying a ton of Ethereum, I think he has roughly around $12 billion worth of Ethereum and still bought more as of today. Well, guess what? He says that the ISM model, which is about to be greater than 50, it has been associated with the supercycle moves with Bitcoin. And he says that Bitcoin is tracking the business cycle almost perfectly, and at the time when the Fed is ending quantitative tightening and quantitative easing starts tomorrow. This is extremely bullish in the short term. Now, if you look at this specific diagram, this is the ISM model, aka PMI. You can see that every single time that we see the ISM trend is above 50 level, it starts a bull cycle. It happened here in 2021, 2017, 2013. And this is the longest consolidation of an ISM PMI model ever. So just think about that. It's just right around the corner. It's going to happen in 2026. So I'm going to share with you this video of Raoul Pal speaking at Solana. And I know that he's a very controversial person. I remember when Raoul Pal thought that Ethereum was going to flip Bitcoin one day. Well, he used to work for Goldman Sachs. And I just want you to hear his thoughts because he could be right about this.
Alts are driven by the business cycle. So with the business cycle currently low, we haven't had alt season. And everyone's like, I can't believe they've robbed us of alt season. It's never going to happen. There's too many tokens. We can't have nice things and all of that bullshit we hear all day. It's not. It's just the economy's stupid, because what happens is when earnings go up, when the business cycle is strong, you have more earnings and you invest those earnings further out the risk curve. It's just really basic stuff. It happens for exactly the same as small caps, exactly the same with junk bonds, credit. They all operate in exactly the same way, and the business cycle has been subdued. Listen to Scott Bessent. He's telling you all day, as is Trump, is we're going to have a banner year next year. Why? Because they're going to jam the market with liquidity, and they're going to jam fiscal stimulus through as well. Yeah, if you think about it, the US is a service-based economy. They're going to get rid of tax on tips. That's a huge boost to people. There's like $1.5 trillion that will flow into the banking system just from that stuff alone, from the big, beautiful bill. Then we've got the changes to the SLR that allows maybe $3 or $4 trillion of credit creation from the banking system. We've got enormous amounts of this stuff lining up. Why? Because they wanted to win the election. You know, the good thing is, for once, we've actually got a macro hedge fund manager running the treasury. So I know how he thinks. He was a long-term global macro investor subscriber. I've known him for 20 years. And he understands the game, which is jam the business cycle going into the elections. So we've got that. We've got the debt to roll. It's kind of stacking up, and it tells you your beloved, or our beloved, alt season is still to come.
So I actually do believe that this is true. What he's saying is that we've been in this elongated cycle, and now we're going to be ending a 4-year cycle, now going into a 5-year cycle. And that liquidity, global liquidity, is just around the corner. So when you look at the rainbow diagram for Bitcoin's price, I mean, just look at it. It's ready to do another rally because we haven't peaked. Usually when it gets to around the yellow mark all the way up to the red, you can see that we have these different sections to the right that say HODL. Is this a bubble? FOMO. Sell seriously? Max bubble. Right now, you're currently at fire sale, which is the blue section. So just look at that diagram. I mean, what does this share with you right now? That we have another leg up. Now, when I look at this specific diagram, just look at every single time that we saw a bull run. Now, as you can see, with 2013, we bottomed out on the ISM, and then we experienced a 2013 bull run for altcoins, Bitcoin, and everything in the crypto sector. Same thing happened here in 2017, where we bottomed out on the ISM model, and then we saw a huge liquidity injection into the market, and that sent us into the 2017 bull rally. Same thing happened here, end of 2020. The pandemic hit, and then we saw a massive liquidity injection, which sent us into a 2021 bull run for Bitcoin, and then altcoins ran right after. We bottomed out in the 2025 consolidation event, heading into a 2026 bull run. That's exactly what's happening, what's being played out. So when you look at meme coins right now, meme coins are the best sector for returns on investments, but not every single meme coin. I'm talking about blue chips. Yes, some of the multi-billion-dollar ones, but mostly the top 20. So when I look down over where Dog is the number one meme coin on Bitcoin. Every other meme coin that you've seen on here is based in Solana, Ethereum, and Binance, aka BNB. Dog is the only meme coin on the Runes protocol, a Bitcoin fungible token that's in the top 20. And it is, and it will have its super cycle in 2026, regardless of what you think is going to happen. So that's why right now I'm buying a ton of Dog as I speak. So I want to point out something about Pepe, because Pepe was one of those tokens that ended up having apparently some insider trading, because apparently 30% of the token supply was bundled when the launch of Pepe was released. And you can tell that Pepe, over time reached into the multi-billions of dollars market cap, is considered blue chip, but it had some insider trading. So right now, if you look at this, Pepe has the most listings on exchanges and is the third largest meme coin by market cap. When you look at Dog is the only thing within the top 20, or at least in the top 15 meme coins by market cap, that does only have one centralized exchange listing, which is Kraken. Soon all these other ones will list it regardless of what we think. And you may think like, oh, none of these foreign exchanges or US exchanges are going to list Dog. That's not the case. It will happen. I mean, it's impossible for Dog just to be listed on Kraken. The fact that Kraken listed it just gives you the alpha that sooner or later all these other exchanges are going to do it. Remember when Dogecoin was only listed on Coinbase and Robinhood? None of these other exchanges listed it because it was kind of new, really speculative. quantitative. No one thought meme coins would do that well. And now Dogecoin is at $21 billion, reached a high as $88 billion, and is listed on every exchange. Dog is doing the exact same thing. Now let's cover some news that has recently happened in the past 24 hours. So apparently Mu Finance, which is built within Ergo platform, has listed Dog, Gizmo, and Mim. And these are wrap versions. You'll kind of notice that some of them say RS Dog or RS Gizmo or RS Mim, and that stands for Rosenbridge. So basically that is the platform or the company that's wrapping these tokens to be available to trade on Ergo. And ever since then, we actually saw the liquidity pool within the Ergo platform reach around 605% up. So that's the liquidity pool allowing people to trade within Dog on that specific DEX. So in other news, today, one of the members over at Coinbase just announced that soon their Coinbase app is going to allow people around the world, if you hold a Coinbase app, that soon you're going to be able to trade tokens such as decentralized exchange tokens. So what this means is if you have a Coinbase app, soon you'll be able to buy Dog. And I think we really have to focus and champion this and spread this awareness. The Solana users are the most speculative traders within all of different crypto chains, right? Bigger than Ethereum, bigger than BNB, bigger than Cardano. It's because Solana is really fast. It's really easy to understand it, and they have a huge audience around the world. I was a big fan of Solana, still am today. But what we really need to remind everybody is that if you want to buy the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin, well, guess what? You could do it by buying it on the Solana chain by using the Coinbase app. I mean, I'll be making a tutorial video about this, but we definitely need to educate everyone around this new launch. So something that we need to keep in mind is that how many users actually own Dog on Solana? Well, roughly 10,000 users own Dog on Solana, and we want that number to grow. While we have 293 members on Stacks, which is the layer 2 on top of Bitcoin, we have 91,000 on Bitcoin layer 1. So I want this specific category of users on Solana to keep growing. Let's try to aim for 20,000. And I really want you all to start championing and talking about Dog on Solana. Keep that in mind. Dog on Solana, buy the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin through Solana. Get ready. It's going to be listed on Coinbase, that type of thing. Now let's see how much engagement's been happening over the past 10 days. So this is something that I grabbed from Grok, aka X, and I asked, which meme coins have the most mentions, likes, reposts, and comments? Believe it or not, over the past 10 days, Dog Bitcoin surpasses SPX, Dogecoin, Pepe, Mog, Sheep, and definitely Pengu. This is substantial, ladies and gentlemen. This right here already confirms that because you have a community that is here, this confirms that Dog is going to have a super cycle. Because most of the times when meme coins rally, such as Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Pepe, it's because they have a following. It's because they actually have a community that's actually backing it. Because that's free marketing for the token, right? If people are more aware of Dog, then most likely that's going to perform well in 2026. So while Dogecoin was the coin in 2021, and maybe Pepe in 2022, Mogcoin, and maybe these other, well, actually SPX 6900 in 2024. Well, guess what? In 2026, Dog is going to be the coin of this year. Remember what I just said. Now, this is the price of Dog right now. Now, we do have quantitative easing just happening right around the corner. And as I brought up in yesterday's video, we may have seen a dip in the Dog price after that FOMC meeting, and we surely saw that. But notice another thing. What are we seeing down below in the Fear and Greed Index? Yes, we're actually seeing that regardless of what we're seeing in the price of Dog going down just a little bit, you're seeing that the market, the sentiment within the Dog economy, the Dog users, is stepping out of the fear zone, actually the extreme fear zone. The reason that's important is because we want to see people within Dog and also sentiment, the feeling within Dog, to go back up into the neutral and then the greed and then the extreme greed. So right now we're actually stepping out of this. This is actually showing the psychology of the Dog army and the Dog users, that right now they're feeling confident that Dog is going to go up. And that's absolutely great because we've kind of been down here for way too long and it's looking like it's going to break out. But I also want to go to another thing, which is changing these candles into line with markers. Now, why is this really important to kind of look overall with Dog's price? Well, check it out. Every single time that we're actually down in these dark blue zones, that's actually the bottom. Now notice something, whenever we're in extreme FOMO, we reach into the purple lines. That's when we reach top peak. Right now we're in extreme blue. And there's only been 3 other times that this has happened. Back over here in April 2025, back over here in September 2024, back over here in May of 2024. This is happening right now. And this is the time to be paying attention to dog before it heads upwards, because remember, dog is going to be the meme coin 2026, and I want you to remember that. So I just want to thank everybody. This has been an amazing journey, and I will continue to make dog content. But guess what? As of yesterday, I've made over 379 dog videos to date. Now, what's great about this is that this is all open source. That means people can go into my YouTube channel, go into my X account, and look at dog's history, look at its performance, its trends, its projections, and all the breaking news that we've had with dog Bitcoin. And I just want to ask you, have you ever seen another meme coin at this level have documented research or commitment? No, it's because that's how amazing dog is. I wouldn't be making these videos unless I felt this way about Bitcoin, the way I felt about Solana, the way I felt about Bonk when they were absolutely undervalued, when everybody was fearing them and talking so much crap. That's just how you make money in these games. And the thing is, what you learn now, you're going to take with you to the next coin or the next investment that you are going to embark on. And that's why I want to share these tools with you for absolutely free. And all I ask in return is just to subscribe to my channel on YouTube or on X, right? Like, that's all I ask for. And that's the thing that I want you all to have, is free information. So you already know that I'm very bullish on dog Bitcoin, but this just confirms that dog is going to have a super cycle in 2026, given the global liquidity injection with the ISM model, the PMI, also quantitative easing, more rate cuts happening next year, and Bitcoin meme coins becoming the narrative in 2026. You know dog's going to lead that. So I'm telling you, do not miss on the next Dogecoin. Do not miss on the next Shiba Inu. Do not miss on the next Pepe. Do not miss on the next SPS 6900. Do not miss the next Pengu. This is going to be the token this year. And now at this level, at around 100 million market cap, if you do not understand this information, then I cannot help you. But I hope that this information is helpful, and I hope that it gives you some clarity that dog right now is the best play throughout all of crypto. So this is just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.